How's it going, everyone? I just want to do a quick little review on these Raven Evolution RMG 220 round magazines. Brand new from Raven Evolution. We're on the team Warmongers, and we just wanted to product demo this for you just to show you what they're capable of and what's new. So, as some of you probably know, is that Raven Evolution is a Canadian branded product, and it was designed in Canada. And as something that was designed in Canada, of course, as a Canadian, you kind of want to gravitate to it whenever you can. So right here, this is just a quick little unboxing, and then we'll cut to another slide the day after when we actually do Operation Snowman at Wasaga Beach, and we'll actually do a product demo where we actually mag dump about 4 different guns just to show you that they're all compatible. We tried these out in every platform that we had, and it seemed to work out okay. So that being said, I don't think that feeding will be an issue in any of the guns tomorrow, but again, we'll find out. And yeah, so let's get into it. So again, these are 220 rounds each. They're all polymer design. They're a hard type of, looks like some sort of PVC or ABS plastic. We don't know if it's nylon filled or not. There's no specifications on that. It very much so models some of the Magpul PMags in some way. It does have a stipple grip, so you get a nice grip on it. If you look just below here, you do have a kind of release here for the floor plate of the magazine, which is all spring-loaded. It doesn't actually contain any internals other than the screw itself for disassembly, so that's all there, and then it just gets replaced very simply and neatly, just like that, clicks back into place. So it's all toolless to get at the screw itself to actually get at the magazine internal, and then of course this part would pop out just like a standard Midcap magazine. So having an extra 100 rounds, definitely an advantage. Yeah, so we're excited to try this out tomorrow. That's just a quick little unboxing. We're excited to try this out. And again, this is from Team Warmongers. We're really excited to try this out tomorrow. All right, we'll see you then. Alright, so Team Warmongers here at Wasaga Beach Paintball, about to play Operation Snowman Airsoft game. We got a bunch of new mags loaded up here from Raven Airsoft, the RMG AR 220s. Shoot 220 rounds as the box advertises. All of them fit in all the mag wells as we showed earlier. So now we're out here, we're going to do a mag dump to see how consistent they are and see if they actually feed all the way through. So everyone set the full auto. Okay, ready, and fire.
Okay, pause here just for a second. Alright, I had some issues and it was totally my fault. It wasn't the mag's fault. That's not just me saying it. I was an idiot. What I did was, if you see my suppressor right here, okay, I don't have a proper shim for it. So when I put it on, it touches the handguard, and what happens is it's no longer concentric with the bore. So what was happening is I was getting baffle strikes on the inside, and it was making my BBs curve up and not come out. And I thought it was jamming, but in fact I was just basically collecting BBs inside of my fake suppressor. So that's what happened. Not Raven's fault, my fault 100%. So important to say that. Alright, moving on.
Like they all fit. That was on me. I didn't have my setting right, but everyone else fit pretty good. So there you go. Raven RMG 220 round mags, pretty good here in Canada. So yeah, good for us.
3 weeks later.
Okay, so here we are 3 weeks later, and we're just going to talk about how the magazines performed. So as we discussed in the video, we were at Operation Snowman in Wasaga Beach. The game was absolutely amazing. It's definitely a venue that you want to check out at some point if you're ever in the area, or if you ever get an opportunity to play with Wasaga Beach, and you want to just get out before everyone else in, you know, the very, very, very early spring when there's still snow on the ground. This is definitely an event to check out. Very cool event. Now let's talk about the magazines. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm not just saying that. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'll tell you why. It was probably the worst weather I think I've ever played at an airsoft event. Full stop. It was freezing rain for, I want to say, 3/4 of the event, and it didn't let off until the sun went completely down and you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It was completely overcast sky. It was, treetop cover throughout the entire field. As you can see in this video, my night vision's really struggling, and these are really good tubes. I think these are, wow, I don't remember what the FOM rating is on them actually off the top of my head. I gotta check it out, but very, very good tubes. They're the Photonus Echo Plus tubes. So anyway, enough about the tubes. Magazines function absolutely phenomenal. It was soaking wet. Like, my coat was waterproofed. It was soaked all the way down to the bone. I was starting to get chills. I had to actually change coats at one point just because it was that wet. I had taped my gun up the night before, luckily with electrical tape where all the seams are, so that water wouldn't get into the hop-up unit and internals, and that actually worked out very well. I'm so glad I did that and spent the extra, I think it was 25 minutes or so taping up my gun. Very much worth the effort, because if I didn't, oh boy, I would probably be shooting all over the place. It'd be like a shotgun pattern all day long. But I didn't have that issue, so taped up my gun. It worked out. The magazines did its part. I had them, of course, facing downward in my mag pouches so they wouldn't get wet, and not a single drop got into the mechanism at all. I checked, not a single drop got in whatsoever. It was pouring rain. In fact, I want to say again, you couldn't have asked for a worse testing environment or a worse stress test environment for these magazines, and these held up all day and all night long. No problems whatsoever for me or my teammate. So I gotta say, hats off to Raven Evolution for this. Now, I will say, what's our affiliation with Raven Evolution? Well, they are one of our sponsors, of course, and also they did give us 4 of their magazines for free. So, thank you for those. So, just want you to know as well that they didn't pressure us to say anything. There's no prompts. There's nothing that they asked us to cover or say whatsoever. They just said, here's 4 magazines, test them out, let us know honestly what you think of them. And that's it. So here it is. I want to say 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for these magazines. Just simply because, yeah, I understand that there's another magazine out there that will hold 250. I get that. It has the viewing window. I get that too. These ones do not, of course. It's just a straight black polymer magazine, but they feel nice and sturdy. It's definitely feels like, if not it is, a nylon filled polymer. Don't quote me on that, but it feels very, very sturdy. And I mean, if you really care about the 30 BBs, then of course there's that other magazine option out there for you, of course, but these are considerably cheaper. You can buy a lot more of these for you can get a lot more of these in your hands, and you're only missing out on 30 BBs per magazine. So if you really care about that, of course there's the other magazine option, but if you don't, these are probably the ones you want to be looking at, honestly. So again, hats off to Raven. This is amazing. I think we're going to be using these quite often. And you know what's great is that if we lose one by accident, we're not going to be crying about it, unlike the other mag. It's a big deal if you lose those other mags, those 250 rounders. Not so much with these, and that's a good thing. So again, hats off. 9 out of 10. And that's all I got to say. So we'll wrap this up. Thank you again, guys, for listening to us. And again, this is Battledwarf from Warmongers Airsoft, and we'll see you later.